for me, where I see, and we've already kind of talked about this, it's this simping culture. That's what I go to. And I think we've talked about it in the past, like what women are looking for is attention. Men, we don't give a F about attention. That's not our language. That's not what we're looking for. That's not really what fuels us. And so, what simping culture has done, whether it's Instagram, where you get these girls get a million likes, they get a million comments, you're hot, I want you, I'll fly you out, blah, 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 is the attention. And so, when men simp, you're basically just giving nonstop attention. And so, you're basically fueling somebody's desire without you getting anything in return. And I hate framing it that way because it's not about you get something and I get something. That's not the heart of being in a relationship. That's not the point, but it's the outcome.
Yeah.
It's not the point, it's the outcome. And so when I just thought about this really funny. I don't know why I remembered it, but it's super funny. Back in high school, and I think I remember because it was such an awkward moment for me because I was really confused. I was in the class, and this girl, she would always be bugging me, and she'd always like and I didn't. Now I realize she really just wanted my attention. I just wouldn't give her any attention. And I remember one day she was like, "Why don't you give me any attention?" She literally said that to my face, and I was so confused. I was like, and then I started clicking like, "Oh, this girl's like likes me or something, or she's trying to get something from me." And it's like it's really a game, and you're not giving someone attention to manipulate them. That's not the point. But it's understanding. Stop simping because you're giving somebody without them having to give anything in return. That's kind of like the basis of it. And so when you stop simping, what actually happens is you start focusing on your own life and what's actually going on and your own goals and the things you want to accomplish. What's going to start happening is girls are going to start dropping those handkerchiefs because they're choosing. Because what they're trying to do is they're really trying to get your attention out of anything. Yeah. That girl dropped her handkerchief because she's wanting your attention. She chose you out of the crowd because she wants your attention. And so this whole simping thing is, we can break down why that happened or why we came to this place in society. There's a lot of reasons, but the main thing is stop giving women energy, stop giving them attention when they haven't done anything to get it. For example, for me, like how kind of my story with my wife is, we were friends for a while. It's probably not your routine how a relationship and marriage starts, how it's going to be for most people. But we basically came to a point where it was like, hey, let's see if this works. If it doesn't, we'll go our own ways. If it does, then we'll stick it out and explore it. And I flew out to Texas where she was, and my goal was I have to show this girl that I want to pursue something. I have to express my masculinity. I got to be super intentional, and I need to show her attention so that she knows this is what I want. And that was the defining part of it. I think a part of the reason why it was successful, because she's like, oh, this guy, he's giving me attention. Like, he's showing me this. He must really be interested. And so that was my playing card of, when I look back, I wasn't intentionally giving her attention or attracting attention to manipulate her, but that was my action of, hey, like, I'm going to show you I'm here for a reason. And so unless, and that's why I say of like focusing on yourself and not worrying about giving attention until it's that time. Because if you're just out here,
she dropped a lot of handkerchiefs, though. I can tell
exactly.
you that. I was on that trip. Okay.
He was on a trip. There were handkerchiefs dropped. That's true.
I mean,
and so that was a calling card, really, honestly, right?
For sure.
And so. I think you bring up a good point there. It was kind of responsive in a way as well. And so stop being out here, stop being thirsty, stop simping, stop doing all this thing, because what you're doing is you're giving a woman something that I'm going to be really frank here, that she hasn't earned the rights to yet, or she doesn't deserve yet. And that's why you're single. Honestly, if I really break down to one thing, that's why you're single. It's not because you're fat. It's not because you're skinny. It's not because you don't make no money. Yeah, those have impacts. But at the core of it, you're giving that woman attention and too much energy when you really need to be focusing on yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 100%. Really what if I really break it down, I think that's a big picture of mine. I'm curious what you guys think, but that's where I think a lot of it spurs from.
I see him flying.
No, I mean, this is my opinion only. But Chill Dill, your story basically it pictures what I was sort of mentioning, how men are like the paradigm of men realizing their true value in society and how much they're worth, especially to a woman, like that flips the entire script upside down. Now, obviously, it doesn't mean it doesn't abdicate you from doing the work. Again, make money, make muscle, learn female nature, learn game. It doesn't abdicate you from that responsibility. However, it it sets the table so that you can now dictate the terms. It is no longer you making concessions to the current reality of how the paradigm is constructed. And so chill to your point, like it just sort of speaks to where I was speaking from. Like men are the ultimate prize in the relationship, and if we can keep that paradigm sacred, I believe there can be, I'm not guaranteeing you more success. I just believe that it just will equip you for a more controlled outcome versus you leaving things up to destiny, or you leaving things up to your partner or your significant other, and they are dictating the terms. Like yeah, like I have this quote from Rollo Tomasi: nothing is more threatening yet simultaneously attractive to a woman than a man who is aware of his own value to women. um there's also, like, here, let me show you this. I think we talked about this.
But I think like what you say, it's so connected. Like you being thirsty out here all the time and stuff. Like that's equally what you're doing when you're being thirsty. Is you're pushing yourself low. You're pushing yourself beneath, which is the value part.
Mm-hmm.
Understand that you have value and bring something to the table will change how you respond in situations, which I think is kind of the point you're making, Benji.